What is good, yo? It's your boy Ty back here with another video. And in this video today, guys, we're going to be going over the 9 new cards we do know coming to NBA 2K23 MyTEAM tomorrow in this flash forward set, which does include all of the old-time NBA legends. So we see Galaxy Opal Dolph Schayes, Don Ohl, Bob Netolicky, Pink Diamond, Cincinnatus Powell, Richie Guerin, as well as Wayne Embry, as well as Pink Diamond, Bailey Howell, Bob Cousy, JoJo White. So what we're going to be doing primarily is taking a look back at each and every one of these cards and kind of how they were in the past. Now, we are also, I just grabbed my PlayStation controller because I'm going to see, are any of these cards in the old time rosters that I can go get my hands on and see if their releases translate. Because I know a lot of people, like, such as like a Giannis Antetokounmpo, I'm going to use him as an example, has a completely different release compared to what he did last year. But a lot of those are because they just recently got a new scan into the game. So that's, a big reasoning behind that. So I don't know, maybe these old time players will have similar releases, maybe not. But let's start at the back and work forward. Bailey Howell, Bob Cousy, JoJo White. Let's start with Bailey Howell, okay? In 23, we've got nothing. In 22, we got the Pink Diamond Bailey Howell. Now, probably going to be relatively similar. We got him on January 14th last year. It's January 6th tomorrow. Trey Burke base. Supposedly, yeah, he does have that DeRozan base. Supposedly, unbeatable Jacob used him on the all-time Pistons and said he was solid. But again, that's just what people are saying. I don't know for sure if that's true. I don't know what to make of it. But I'm going to load up with Bailey Howell right now and see what that release does look like. Because since I have the capability of doing so, I might as well. So release is the DeRozan release. Now, he is going to be 6'7", 6'9" wingspan. But he does have that wide player model and player build. So at that small forward position, I definitely think Bailey Howell is going to be able to hold it down at least pretty solid in my team. Next up, guys, Bob Cousy. And again, we don't have a Cousy from this year. We're going to have to go to last year's Bob Cousy card. Now, I'll be the first to say, Bob Cousy really doesn't have a good card. You can look up and down at the Bob Cousy's. He does not have a good card in my team from last year. Now, this year, his card should be better because he's a Pink Diamond coming out in January. But when I look at Bob Cousy, okay, he's only 6'1" with a 6'8" wingspan. Now, yes, that wingspan is nice. Is it, game-breaking? No. His release, really solid, though, okay? It's that Chris Paul type release, same thing as last year. Is he going to be good enough to play? No. He's 6'1". His movement is not great. His leaner is not great. He's going to be on the court. But if they make his SIGs like they are right now, I just have a really hard time seeing the card play, okay? Last in our first league, okay, we have 3 different ones to go over in this video is JoJo White. Now, the first thing about JoJo White, okay, is he's going to be a little bit taller. I'm not going to say he's, super tall, but a little bit taller. I don't even know. We didn't see a JoJo White last year. Let me see. Maybe it was 21, right? Yeah, Pink Diamond JoJo White. This is the one I remember. But 6'3", 6'5" wingspan. I'm shooting it with his release right now. All I can tell you guys is it's not good. His release is kind of like a set shot and it's not quick. So, I'm trying to think of who to compare it to. He's got the normal leaner, so that's fine. Like, who has a set shot in which they barely get off the ground? I don't know. It's like what was it? Set shot 4 used to be of last year's, like the Peja Stojakovic release in the past. Not obviously now. It's really bad for JoJo White. That's all I'm going to say. I think, if he had a better release, the card could be solid, but his release is bad. So out of these 3 cards, Bailey Howell is going to be useful. The other 2 are really bad. Then we see a Pink Diamond Cincy Powell. We see Pink Diamond Richie Guerin, as well as Pink Diamond Wayne Embry. Now, again, we got to go back to use these cards, but let's just see, okay? Last year, we got a Cincy Powell around 250K time, the actual tournament, as our level 40 reward, not a level 40, but as the MyTEAM Unlimited reward. And I'm not going to sit here and say Cincy Powell is bad because I don't necessarily think he's horrible. I just don't see it with Cincy Powell as being, as good as he was last year. Because we got to remember, last year he did get the Dante XM base, which was just absolutely elite. This year, he's probably not going to get a release as good. Now, again, that's just my predictions. Could he get as good of a release? Probably. I just have a really hard time seeing 2K go out and give him that release. Again, that's just my predictions on things. I could be completely wrong, and you guys can let me know if you think he's going to get a good release. But to me, I just don't think Cincy Powell is going to be as good as he was last year. People are already talking about Cincy Powell in the community, and a lot of people are already saying, limit your expectations. We probably won't be as good. But if he does get a good release and can move, at 6'7", he should be solid. The one thing I didn't love about Cincy Powell when it comes to last year is I didn't like his player model, okay? Next, we're going to talk about Wayne Embry. Why? Because I got him up in shoot-around right now, so let's just start with his release, okay? Release is pretty ugly. It's the first thing I'm going to say about Wayne Embry. His release is really, really, really ugly. Now, to kind of combat that, okay, defensively, we know Wayne Embry is going to be elite. We know his driving, standing dunk is going to be good. But I'm telling you guys, when I'm telling you guys, if a release is bad, and I'm telling you guys, believe me, his release, JoJo White's release, nearly unusable, okay? Take it for what it's worth. Wayne Embry is not going to be as good as people make him in my team. Although, his player model is going to be solid. Last but certainly not least, we get Richie Guerin. Now, if he could play point guard, I might be high on the card, but he can't play point guard. And so, what am I supposed to sit here and say? He's at the shooting guard position. And if there's one thing about Richie in the past, I got to pull up the card here. He was smooth. Last year he had quick dribble style, jump shot 4, but the problem is he's only 6'4", and it's probably going to be the same problem as this year's game. It's like, I like the card. I think the card is solid, but he's only 6'4", okay? Movement for my man Richie. He's got that Trey dribble style. At least that's what it looks. It looks like he moves kind of like Penny Hardaway. I just don't see it. Now, release-wise, it's solid, right? He's got that Latrell Sprewell type release, which, again, if a release was like that last year, it's probably going to be like that this year with the new cards. Richie's going to be fine in my team. I don't think he's going to be great, okay? So far, Cincy Powell, again, I don't know about. I don't expect much out of Richie or Wayne Embry. I really don't. I know their cards are cool, but I don't expect much out of them. Dolph Schayes, Don Ohl, and Bob Netolicky up next. Let's start off with Dolph Schayes. Now, Dolph, he had a really good card last year in this pink diamond that a lot of people use, man. People can say whatever they want about Dolph Schayes, but a lot of people use that Dolph Schayes card for a decently long time. Why? Because he could shoot, could play decent defense, and as an all-around card, the card was good. Now, this year, Dolph Schayes, I don't know what to expect. He's only 6'8", can only play the power forward position. His release is horrible. I'm telling you guys how it is. If these guys do not get updated, limit your expectations. Dolph Schayes has a horrible release in my team. It's horrible. Unplayable. You're not using Dolph Schayes unless they change his release. If they change his release, then forget everything I'm saying. But I'm telling you guys that right now. If they do not change Dolph's release, it's really bad. Don Ohl up next. Now, for Don Ohl, he was like a Derrick Rose clone from last year, if I'm remembering correctly. Don Ohl, limited reward. Okay, let's go towards it. Again, D-Rose base does get the D-Rose or the quick dribble style, which, again, is that like D-Rose type dribble style. But as an all-around card, Don Ohl was solid last year. He was undersized, but, I hate to say this about Don Ohl. It's kind of to be expected that he's a little undersized. I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm just saying that's kind of what you've got to expect with Don Ohl at this point. I don't think that you look at Don Ohl and you're like, this card is horrible, this card can't play. But again, it's going to come down to, is he a Derrick Rose clone? If he is, are they going to make his defensive attributes a little bit better stats? Obviously, this card came out in May, so it's a little, not fair to compare. But I don't know. I have hope for Don Ohl. Lastly, but certainly not least, Bob Netolicky. Now, Bob Netolicky is going to go down in 2K history because he was so good. He was so good. Literally Zeus on this game. He ran my nobody spent squad, and maybe one of the best rewards of all time. Now, for Bob Netolicky, right now, he doesn't have a good release. It's not as bad as the other guys we've talked about. It's just not good, okay? It's not, you know, cheesy. It's nothing, you know, it's nothing to really look at. But, okay, if they update things, the card could be good. It's that simple. My final takeaway. I have this is going to be an interesting set. Because after shooting around with every one of these guys, Bob Netolicky's release, not good. Dolph Schayes is horrible. I wasn't able to shoot with Don Ohl, but he should move fine. Cincy Powell, wasn't able to shoot around with him. Wayne Embry's release is horrible. Richie's okay, but not great. And then you look at here, Cousy's horrible. JoJo Wright's release is horrible. And Bailey Howell, I mean, he should be good with the DeRozan base. But when I'm looking at things, none of these cards make the best squad in the game. None of them. Unless they really update them. I mean, if they update Bob Netolicky and give him, you know, the Kuzma base, which they totally could. I'm just throwing it out there. They totally could update all of these cards. Then we might have something to talk about. But until then, I'm hyped to get these cards, but I'm not hyped to really play with any of them, if that makes sense. That's going to wrap it up for our video today, guys. Let me know your thoughts on it down below in the comments. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new, and as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.